Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome back to Fluent English Power. I am so incredibly happy to be here with you today. I'm Luna, and today we are going to dive deep into a topic that many of you ask me about every single day. We are going to focus on how to train your brain to think in English. Now, I know many of you are curious. Why is this so important? You might be thinking, Luna, I usually just translate in my head. Isn't that enough? Well, I want to be honest with you. When you translate from your native language, it takes a lot of time, and that is exactly why you get stuck or feel frustrated during a conversation. When you train your brain to think directly in English, you are actually training it to process the language naturally. You are removing that middleman of translation. This makes your speech so much faster and more fluid. It also helps you understand others better because your brain isn't constantly switching back and forth between two different languages. Have you ever noticed how translating slows you down? Especially when you're speaking with someone, you have to pause, find the right word in your language, then find the English version. And by the time you're ready, you might have lost track of the entire conversation. That is a very common struggle, but by training your brain to think directly in English, you can avoid those long pauses and feel much more confident. So let's start with a very simple but powerful exercise. Thinking in single words. I want you to look around you right now, wherever you are. Name everything you see in English. Can you try that with me? For example, right now, I see a computer, a desk, a chair, a window, and a small plant. It sounds simple, right? But here is a question I often get. Luna, what if I don't know the word for something? Should I just skip it and move on? My answer is absolutely not. If you don't know the specific word for an object, don't skip it. Instead, I want you to challenge your brain to describe it in English. For instance, if you look at a piece of furniture and can't remember the word bookshelf, you could say, "It's the place where I put my books." This is a brilliant way to keep your brain thinking in English without stopping the flow. It also helps you learn new words in a more meaningful way. Let's try it again. Imagine you see something that holds papers together, but the word is missing from your mind. You could say, it's a tool that keeps papers in place. By the way, that tool is called a paperclip, but now you have a way to describe it even if the name disappears. You are keeping your brain engaged, and that is the real goal. Now, let's build on this and move from words to thinking in sentences. What kind of simple sentences can you create based on what you are doing right this second? You could say, I am sitting at my desk, or I am learning English right now. Now, I know what you're thinking. Luna, what if I'm not sure if my sentence is 100% correct? What should I do then? Please, listen to me. Don't worry too much about making mistakes when you are practicing on your own. The key is to keep the practice going. If you are really unsure, you can always write the sentence down and check it later or ask for help. But don't let the fear of a small mistake stop your flow. Try looking at your surroundings again. You could say, the sun is shining through the window. Or, my plant is growing well. What if you want to talk about your future? When you think about your plans for later, you can use phrases like, I'm going to, or I will. For example, think to yourself, I'm going to cook dinner later, or I will watch a movie tonight. Describing your future plans in English is a fantastic way to practice different tenses. And don't stop there. Think about what you did earlier in the day. You could say, this morning I had breakfast, and then I studied for a while, and after that I went to the grocery store. I know it's a challenge to remember all these words, but there are strategies that can help. One very effective method is to use new words and sentences as soon as you learn them. Many people write words in a notebook but then forget to review them. This is where flashcards or a mobile app can be a lifesaver. They make reviewing fun and interactive, and they help you practice regularly, which is the secret to memory. And here is a tip that might feel a bit strange at first. Talk to yourself. I'm serious. I practice speaking a few times a week, even when I'm alone. I talk to myself or even to my dog. It might feel a bit weird, but it is completely normal. Talking to yourself reinforces what you've learned and prepares you for real conversations.
You can even pretend you are having a conversation with someone else. Imagine different scenarios. Maybe you are at a restaurant ordering food or at a store asking, "Excuse me, where can I find the bread?" Or even traveling and asking, "How do I get to the train station?" Imagining these situations builds incredible confidence. The more you practice these scenarios in your head, the more prepared you will feel when they happen in real life. Another wonderful exercise is to describe your day in detail from morning to night. You can even start your day by planning it in English. I used to do this in my native language, but now I do it in English. I say, today I'm going to study, and then I'll meet a friend for coffee. This simple habit keeps your mind engaged with the language all day long. And remember, if you see something you can't name, like a remote control, just say, it's the device I use to change the channel on the TV. That works perfectly. As you get better, challenge yourself to describe more complex things, like your thoughts and feelings. For example, you could say, right now I'm feeling excited because I'm learning new things, but also a little nervous because I want to do everything right. Expressing your emotions is a huge part of real-life communication. It's natural to feel nervous, but making mistakes is just part of the journey. Many people ask me, Luna, how long will it take before I can think in English without trying so hard? The answer is simple. It depends on how consistently you practice. The more you do it, the faster it becomes natural. For some, it takes a few months. For others, it takes a little longer. But the key is to keep going. I think you can practice every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Start with single words, move to sentences, and then to full conversations. I am so proud of the progress you are making. Stay patient, stay dedicated, and remember that every little bit of effort helps you get closer to your dream. I'm excited for you to start practicing this more. Thank you so much for all your support and for letting me be part of your journey. I can already feel your confidence growing. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, leave a like, and write in the comments. What is one thing you see near you right now? Describe it in English. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Take care.